Now here's the question. Is a phoenix a pkak or is it a tip? Because we have two main divisions of what we would think of as birds in this culture. We have pkak and tip. So pukak are fowl and titip are songbirds. Well, maybe in Kranslor it changed. YouTube, welcome back. We have some poetry to write. I have some patrons to thank. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons for making this possible. You guys are the best, but let's just go into the stream before I get too gushy and emotional, shall we? Alrighty, so we have a little poem here. If you haven't seen the other episodes where we've made this poem, I would recommend them. So you can see the process, the artistry and all of that. But in the meantime, if you are all caught up, we can keep going. So we have our poem, and I will recite it. It is called the Song of Dwan Trun. Mram man yo Dwan Trun, barang bangriate, mrak nmya skrat nzun, tradak mat yore. Mbit non nom zwi sokur stra asyut marak. And then we have to finish it. What's it going to end with? All right, so basically we've said the one who, when young, slew the phoenix with a lemon. When young, he slew the fire bird. When young, he slew the fire bird. When young, he slew the fire bird. And it's hard to say. When young, he wielded lemon, slew the firebird. Firebird. What a guy. Okay, that's terrible, but we'll leave it in for now. Okay, so then we need to come up with another 4-foot line to rhyme with kur, and then a 3-foot line to rhyme with rak. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so we have a few choices for things to put to make rhyme with marak. We could do pkak, which is the word for chicken. We could do prak, which is the word for gather, collect, or harvest. That seems more likely than the chicken one, I think. Yeah, what a guy. So let's aim to end this with prak, meaning gather. And let's aim to end, so kur. What else do we have that ends in ur? Let's see if we can find in this ur. Mur. Oh, arrow. Oh, that works. So I'm not attached to this wandering the sea business. So let's just replace it with something, mur, arrow. Okay, so those are our endpoints. Mur. So blah, 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 arrow, blah, 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 gather. So maybe this is recounting the later victories and trials of Dwan Trun. The word order for Kranslor is, we have it over here, SVO, prepositions, complementizer before the embedded clause, noun before the relative clause. No, sorry, yeah, noun before the relative clause. Which means that the ate that I've been doing is wrong. Well, maybe in Kranslor it changed. Noun plus demonstrative, possessum, and then possessor. So that's roughly what we have. And he happened upon an arrow and found where the phoenixes gather. Okay, excellent. So I like that. I think we should use a different word for phoenix than we've had before. So let's see if we can use something like firebird. Do we have fire? We don't. Okay, so we need fire. We have... Now here's the question. Is a phoenix a pkak or is it a tip? Because we have two main divisions of what we would think of as birds in this culture. We have pkak and tip, or in the proto-culture, pukak and titip. So pukak are fowl, like chickens, and titip are songbirds. So I think the phoenix would be a pkak, which means that we could actually we could actually have this be bird and get pakak in. Although, if we say firebird, it's going to have to be pakak something. This noun adjective order is really bothering me. All right, well, fire goose. Let's come up with a word for fire. Chat, actually, that's a good assignment for you. Any ideas for a word for fire in Proto-Sakrat? Ura. Ooh, that's really cool. I like that. Fire. And what's going to happen to it? Rwa. Cool. Rwa. It's a shame we don't get to end with pakak. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? So we have rwa in Kranslor. So really, firebird will be pakak rwa. But I don't know how... But I want to rhyme with pakak. This is a real shame. Or we could go back together and say pakak rwa prak. That would work. Although notice that these are both non-iambic. So pakak is iambic. We can epithesize there. Pakak. Oops, I put these in the wrong order. Again. Okay, so we have weak, strong, strong, strong. No potential parenthesis here. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Pakak rwa prak. I think we need something. We need some weak here and some weak here. Or we just say pakak rwa. We demote pakak to a weak because it's a compound. Bird fire, that would work. Pakak rwa. And then we need a whole second foot. And then something before prak. It's tough. Poetry is tough. Pakak rwa. Pakak rwa. Almost sounds French. Bird fire, something, something, gather. Maybe we have some kind of Irialis thing, like he shoots his arrow wherever the firebirds may gather, something like that. And then we could use our le, because I want to use this le. I really like this. So maybe this is Irialis. Do we have an Irialis already? No, we don't. Okay. So le. And then we could just have an adjective after pakak rwa. Like, what do we have? Maybe, okay, what about this? This is kind of some interesting world building. What if our word for the goddess Manis just becomes a generic word for like the divine? Because Manis, aka me, is no longer worshipped in this culture. This culture is all about this duality between the good sun and the bad sun. And Manis is just sort of not part of this situation. So maybe in Kranslor, the mis just means divine or spiritual or something like that. Pakak rwa mis le... Sorry, wait. Pakak rwa mis le prak. So that rhymes with satra asyut marak. So then we have to finish up our work with this arrow line. So we need to say that he... What do we have? He shot his arrow. He shot from his skin. Okay, whoa. I'm seeing some cool stuff in the chat here. He shot Pixels written. He shot from his skin the arrows which killed those whose rule he wished to gather. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit all of that in, but let's try and get some of the spirit of that. Or echoed words is coming up with when he shoots with his enemies with arrows, top with firebird feathers he gathers. Okay. Let's try and stew all of this around. and come up with something. So if we have this second half, which is where the divine firebirds may gather, we could say something like, we could say something like, he's shooting, or he's always found with bow and arrow wherever the phoenixes gather, or something like that. I don't know. Here's the question. Is Dwan Trun soup or stew? Would Dwan Trun prefer soup or stew? That's the question that I posed to you, chat. We can use maybe this ngabie, which becomes mbie. So this is something like shoot, throw, and then we need 2 more feet here. Note that I haven't actually so far established any connection between these 2 lines. It's just he shoots the arrow, the divine firebirds may gather. I might have to, maybe we could make this into something like a copular construction, like the place where he shoots the arrow, or the destination of the arrow, is where the divine firebirds gather. So then let's look at, we don't have a word for place. Let's use something that we haven't actually used yet. Krang. So krang is a place. And then we need the relative. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with this ate business, because it seems to contradict the noun plus relative clause marker here. Or maybe what we do is we just leave the syntax of this a bit ambiguous and let the reader the listener figure it out. That's also an option. And because we have 5 minutes left, I think that's the option we're going to take. So we will not worry about relative clauses yet. We will... Yeah, I'm going to take Jack's suggestion here. He aims and shoots arrows towards where divine firebirds may gather. So then we could say, let's get a word for aim. Nzir, maybe. Nzir. So aim. And what else can we put in here to give us... Do we have like a 2? Okay, sre. Okay, this can be like it's a verb, but it's acting more like a preposition. So 2, and then krang, which is place. So he aims to the place, he shoots his arrow where the divine firebirds gather. I think that'll work. So here we have, so essentially we have a translation like, he aims there, he shoots his arrow, where's there? Wherever the divine firebirds gather. I think that's what's going on here. Bleh, bleh, bleh. All right, so then we have nzir sre krang mbie mur kakrwa mis la prak. So the whole couplet, mbit non nomzui sokurs tra asyut marak, nzir srekrang mbie mbur pkakrwa. I don't really want to put pkak as a we here. Nzir srekrang mbie mbur pkakrwa mis le prak. Yeah, I'm not totally satisfied with it, but we're running out of time, so let's say good enough for today. I think we've done a ton. And we've had a very almost scholastic debate in the chat about stoop versus stew and the relationship of lemons and what Dwan Trun would prefer. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. This has been fun. YouTube, this has been fun, hasn't it? I love writing poetry. I love making up poetic systems. I think this is an absolute joy. Thank you for being here with us as we do it. We will see you next time. Come back. More Dwan Trun, more Sakrat, more everything, more World of Owls and Chickens. It'll all be here. So we will see you next time.